Hi, it's the Irish Gypsy here to give you your June 2016 general readings. I am still using my beloved Gilded Tarot deck, and I will be drawing the usual 8 cards for the month, 2 cards for each week, with an additional card as your overall theme and general feeling over the reading. These are general readings, so they won't apply or resonate the same with everyone who watches. So remember to check your rising and your moon sign as well. There are some months and some readings where they will resonate more predictively for you than others, particularly with other sectors of your life. I actually typically find that my primary sun sign is the most accurate and predictive for me in matters of job and career in my more public life, whereas my rising sign tends to resonate with me better for my relationships, and my moon sign for more inner and spiritual things. So make sure to watch all three every month and every mid-month, and see which ones you feel connect with best in the different areas of your life. There will also be other readers that may resonate for you more predictably, some readings than the ones you normally follow. There's a lot of great YouTube readers out there. It's all about you getting everything you need to get as clear a picture and the most insight and clarity that you can get for the time period that lays ahead. So shop around and find the ones that you connect with best. And for those of you who include me in that group, my gratitude and thanks. And thank you so much for all of you who continue to watch and listen and subscribe to my channel, and particularly the comments that some of you take the time to write both on my YouTube channel itself and the ones you send to my email. I read every single one of them and enjoy all of them, so please keep those coming. Thank you as well to those of you who reach out for personal one-on-one readings. Thank you so very much for the trust that you place in me to be able to intuit the cards for you and have such a wonderful but small area of your life, however momentarily. Thank you again. And if any of you are interested in a one-on-one reading, you can click on the About sign for more information, and you can also email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I do readings full-time, and I work pretty diligently to get you a reading as quickly as possible. I'm always asked about turnaround time, and it's almost always within a week, typically anywhere between 1 and 4 or 5 days, but almost always within a week. So if you're interested, send me an email and we'll go from there. So let's get into this reading. This is for Taurus for June 2016. Taurus, June 2016. Lovely, solid, rooted earth sign of Taurus. What does the beautiful month of June hold for you? Taurus, show me the energies for Taurus for the month of June 2016. Taurus, June 2016. Okay. We begin with the Six of Cups, followed by the King of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Swords, the Seven of Wands, followed by the Five of Wands, the Three of Swords, followed by the Emperor, and from the bottom of the deck, your crowning card, general theme and overall feeling over the reading is the Temperance card. Okay, Taurus, let's take a look. It's kind of an interesting layout here. I don't know why I'm drinking coffee. It's an unseasonably warm day here in Northern California, and I'm melting a little bit, but I'm addicted to my coffee. It looks like a little bit of conflict from other people, although the cards are pointing strongly for you to remain calm and kind of stay out of it. All right, Taurus, let's begin. We find ourselves at the beginning of June 2016 with the Six of Cups, followed by the King of Swords. So the Six of Cups Cups is governed by the element of water, so it's a suit all about the watery, fluid, mercurial world of emotions and feelings. It's also a suit that represents love and relationships. It can represent love and relationships. The Six of Cups is a card that can speak about the past. It can also speak about travel connected to the past, like in the form of traveling back to see family. Some of you may be traveling to see your parents, traveling to see family, relatives, traveling back to a place you grew up in or roots of origin. It's a card of looking back, of reminiscence and nostalgia. It's also a card that sometimes shows up when you're going through a challenging period where you spend a lot of time reflecting on the past or thinking back kind of wistfully to a time where you felt more carefree, more innocent, where you didn't carry kind of the cares and worries and concerns and burdens that you do today. It's a card primarily about looking back, about the past. Now, the Six of Cups is paired with the King of Swords, which I am reading as a separate and specific individual in your life, Taurus. And I feel like I feel like it's somebody coming back from the past. And it's interesting because I had a similar reading for, I think it was Cancer or Libra. Um, But it's really interesting because the person from their past was an earth sign or appeared to be an earth sign, whether that's a sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. So I'm wondering if there is some connection here between the two of you. For those of you for whom that does resonate, let me know. It was either Cancer or Libra, or someone from the past, earth sign, was coming back. So, and it looks like that's true for you. Only I don't feel like it's an earth sign. Although, of course, this is going to play out as it always does, differently for everyone. Who's coming back from the past? The King of Swords. Swords is governed by the element of air. So, Swords is a suit all about our words and our ideas, our thoughts, mindset, outlook, perspectives, belief systems. It's about how we look at things. It's all about what goes on up here. And kings represent, and queens are just the feminine counterpoint to kings, and they're equal. Kings represent the someone who's reached the master of their suit, the full culmination of the character traits, for example, of their suit. This king has reached the culmination of his suit, which is the suit of swords, words and ideas. This is also about truth. So the King of Swords would represent someone who is probably more mature, a more mature, reflective individual. And it doesn't necessarily have to reflect in chronological age. This could be a young person who's just very self-aware. The King of Swords would be somebody who is very intelligent, number one, probably extraordinarily intelligent, educated, well educated or not, very intelligent individual. The King of Swords would represent somebody for whom the truth is quite important, a truth seeker, a logic, a person who is comfortable in the world of logic, a fact finder, logic, pretty practical individual, but very cerebral and mental sort of person because he's the king of the suit of swords. He tends to come probably more from a place of the head before the heart, probably very thoughtful, reflective individual, probably likes to weigh things out quite carefully before he makes any major decisions or takes any major actions. Court cards from the suit of swords tend not to be inherently not impulsive or spontaneous individuals because they're again they're coming more or first from a place of the head rather than the heart. Although in matters of the heart, of course, sometimes we can all throw caution to the wind. Uh, so I feel like and the King of Swords can also represent an air sign, and this could be Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, Sun, Rising, or Moon sign, or someone who strongly manifests the character traits of the King of Swords. This is somebody who is a good person to seek a truthful answer from. This is someone for whom truth is very important, and also sometimes somebody who's willing to sacrifice their own emotions on the altar of truth or what the reality of a situation actually is. So I feel like this person, Taurus, for those of you for whom this applies, some of you are going to be dealing with an earth sign person or somebody who's manifesting these character traits. Either they are coming from the past, somebody's coming from the past, or they are reconnecting with you, or you're reaching out and reconnecting with them in some way. It could be somebody that you had a relationship with in the past, and this could be a love or romance-based relationship, or it could be another kind of, another kind of relationship. It could be a very close friend, a family member. I feel like I feel like for a lot of you, this was a relationship that had a lot of difficulty and conflict, and you became estranged for some reason. And I feel like this is the month where it becomes important somehow for you to deal with this, or for them to deal with this. And I feel like it's a again, I got a very similar reading for Cancer or Libra. It feels like this is for in this month. It's important. There's this reconciliatory energy, although as opposed to the other reading, I'm feeling that this one's more about making amends. I'm not exactly sure that this is going to resonate as a love, romance, relationship, reconciliation sort of energy. I feel like it's a different type of relationship. Again, whether it's a friend, for some of you, it's going to be a family member. That Six of Cups does resonate quite strongly with childhood and family and roots of origin as well. So it could be a family member, a sibling, a parent, someone that have been estranged from, or the relationship has been very rocky. There's been separation, and I feel distance and silence. And this month, there's at least some attempt or opportunity to make amends, to bring some closure to something. And it could be more than one person involved. In fact, I think there's more than one person involved in this as well. And I feel like there's a certain reluctance or reticence in dealing with this, and that you're not really sure how to deal with it. And some of you are not really sure if you want to deal with it. Right next to that Six of Cups, King of Swords, we have the Two of Pentacles, followed by the Seven of Swords. So the Two of Pentacles, we have a lot of swords energy in here, a lot of words and ideas, and I'm feeling a lot of talk, a lot of chatter as well. So the Two of Pentacles. Pentacles is governed by the element of earth, and Pentacles is a suit that's all about things in our earthly, tangible, material environment. And most often, Pentacles points to things like money, finances, resources, job, assets, property, etc. Tangible, earthly, physical, material things we can see and touch and feel. Although you can, of course, apply these same energies to areas of your life like spirituality and love and romance. It's about tangible energy, or visible and tangible manifestation of something, of an investment that we've made of some kind. The Two of Pentacles is a card about juggling. It can be I mean, it's going to resonate a few different ways. It can be a card about kind of flip-flopping back between one thing and another, trying to decide, trying to make a decision, juggling. You can see on the front of this card that this man is juggling two big, beautiful pentacles. He's doing it successfully. He's not dropping them, but it is requiring all of his attention, focus, and concentration. Um, And I feel like for a lot of you, this is going to represent this issue that comes up for you to deal with, this person from the past. And for some of you, it's not even. I'm getting actually for a smaller portion of you, this is something that's come up for you to deal with around a relationship from the past, but the person isn't actually physically there. And I'm not sure if that means that this is going to be done through email or on the phone, or if it's an issue that's come up with you perhaps that you're just dealing with in therapy, or something like that. But I feel like for a small portion of you, it's not going to be a face-to-face thing. But I feel like you're juggling whether or not this is actually worth whether it's worth addressing, if it's going to just cause more problems than it's worth, if it's going to dredge up past things. And I feel like for some of you, you're worried that it's going to cause a disrupt within your family system somehow. I feel like also for some of you that there is a kind of a desire to run away from it, to not deal with it, to perhaps not talk about it, to keep it kind of under wraps. And for some of you also, gosh, I'm just getting kind of barraged with a variety of different, it's this, it's this, it's this. I think for some of you, you're also going to have to be very careful about how you deal with this, and perhaps even for a time be a little evasive about it, because that Two of Pentacles is paired with the Seven of Swords, which I have sometimes heard referred to by readers as the Thief card. Uh, I think primarily because some of it is the energy to do with this card, some of it is the picture of how it's portrayed. You can see on the front of this card that this man has broken into somebody's house. The implication being that he's broken into somebody's house in broad daylight, and has stolen a bunch of their swords. He's taken a bunch of their stuff, not everything, but a lot. And he's sneaking out the front. He's actually just walking right out the front door, and pausing to look over his shoulder with this kind of smirky, smarmy look on his face, as if to say, "Look what I'm getting away with in broad daylight, no less." It's a card that can represent, well, being stolen from in an actual tangible way. It's a card that can resonate also, feeling like you're being taken advantage of, or exploited in some way, depleted, drained, just taken from. And that could mean in an actual physical, tangible sense. It could also mean in terms of love and energy and time. But this card can also, this card can also represent as needing to be a little more clever, perhaps think outside the box and how to deal with something, maybe even a little evasive, uh, at least for a time. The thief sometimes gets a bad rap because we all have situations in our life, or people that we need to deal with sometimes that we can't always deal with head on. We need to be kind of clever and kind of maneuver around the situation a bit until we find a way to deal with it effectively. But again, for others of you too, because I'm just getting kind of barraged with different scenarios in my head. For some of you, this could be, this sense of juggling and kind of being evasive about it. There's a piece of advice that's saying you need to be as transparent as possible in dealing with this situation, because there's some kind of underlying feeling about wanting to keep it under wraps, kind of wanting to keep it hidden. And for some of you, that's going to be the right way to walk through this, for a time at least. And for others of you, it's not. So, however that resonates for you, we all have kind of our own inner moral compass, uh, that tells us, what the right way and what the wrong way is to do in a certain situation, kind of a way of appropriating action. So, at the end of the day, if you're confused about this and you're kind of going back and forth, not knowing what to do, Taurus, go within and kind of touch base with your own center, your own kind of inner moral compass, and see what you really feel about that. Because at the end of the day, only you can decide what's right for you. Now, following that, we have the Seven of Wands, followed by the Five of Wands. I feel like there is, for some of you, this is going to represent, making a decision to kind of jump into it, to kind of address whatever issues were not addressed in the past, to deal with whatever conflict or old problems, to try and resolve them. For some of you, this is going to mean, coming back together again with a person from whom you've been estranged, or the relationship has been broken or strained somehow. And I feel like for some of you, there are going to be people around you that don't like your decision and have plenty to say about it, something to say about it, because there's a sense too of kind of inner conflict. I think again for some of you, I'm getting, this is within a family system of within a family system, squabbling, fights within a family system, uh, people maybe rumor mongering, gossip mongering, people, everybody throwing in their own opinion, their own 2 cents. You're feeling kind of defensive about, whatever decision it is that you end up making about this, and just trying to deal with the situation, deal with maybe the original problem, is just causing a lot of discord. But I don't feel like it's necessarily originating from you, Taurus. That wouldn't inherently be your style anyway, but I feel like it's the people around you, the people in your family, or the group of friends that this involves. Again, just a lot of verbal squabbling, nitpicking, and I feel too like like there's at least one or two people that are being kind of deceitful, that aren't being honest, or they're being false in some way. We do have that Seven of Swords, which has kind of can have a slippery, sneaky, deceitful feel to it. We have that Two of Pentacles, that kind of juggling, and I'm feeling kind of a sense of evasiveness. And we also do have two seven, number seven cards in the spread, and that can sometimes in a spread indicate false people, false friends, or somebody not being honest or above board. Um, so that Seven of Wands and Five of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card primarily. It's primarily a defensive card, either used positively or negatively. Wands is a suit that's governed by the element of fire and air, so it's a very dynamic combination. And the suit of Wands is a very dynamic, action-oriented suit. It's about change, movement, action, power, forward momentum, passion, creativity, career, artistic projects. But it's a very active suit. The Seven of Wands is a card about it can be a card that points to being defensive in a negative sort of way, being too defensive. And I think you're going to have to be careful not to do that. The one strong theme in terms of advice that I'm getting throughout this reading, Taurus, is to not feed the fire, not put more fuel on it, to try and remain as neutral and balanced as possible through all of this. The Seven of Wands can speak to defending something that you strongly believe in, something that you feel a sense of ownership in because of how much you've invested in it. It can also point towards speaking your truth and standing by it and standing up for what you feel is right. Even when it's being challenged or threatened somehow by other people, or when other people are pressuring you or trying to all give you their own 2 cents and opinion, which I feel a lot of going on here. So this man is standing in front of the door to his castle, his keep, his decision, and he's holding his wand up in a defensive posture because he feels he's being challenged or threatened somehow by these other six wands. And again, I feel like for the majority of you, it's going to be just standing by whatever your position is, but in a quiet, strong way, not being, and the cautionary advice is to not be aggressively defensive. He's just holding his wand up defensively, not in an aggressive sort of or an offensive sort of way. So again, stand by whatever your decision is, or stand by whatever your position is, but don't try to stay as neutral as possible in terms of not adding fuel to the fire. Because again, I'm getting the sense of a lot of people chattering, bickering, squabbling, conflict. And again, somebody, one or two people in there are not being completely above board. Perhaps just people who are interested in stirring the pot, so to speak. That Seven of Wands is paired with the Five of Wands, which can play out a few different ways too. But I'm feeling here it's more about a sense of competitiveness, a sense of internal conflict, a sense of bickering. Uh, uh, you can see that these five men in this circle are sparring with each other. They're not out for blood. It's not a real fight. These aren't real weapons. It's practice, it's sparring. And sometimes it can play out as learning through experience or learning through working with others. But that's not at all what I'm getting here. I'm getting that it's just this kind of circular, almost endless bickering, conflict, squabbling. It's not the energy is not negative to the point like the Tower card kind of energy, or people really wanting to blow the entire world up. It just a lot of it feels barracuda-ish, like a lot of these barracuda fish just picking, 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 picking. And again, I feel like there's somebody in there that just is deliberately like throwing gasoline on the fire. But like it's just kind of this never-ending circular conflict. And again, try to stay out of it as much as possible, even if you're involved in it, because it looks like you are. But just maintain your position, whatever that is, and do it in a strong, grounded, but solid and quiet sort of way. Because I feel like this is if you as long as you do that, this is actually going to fizzle out by the end of the month, going into maybe the first half of, I think by the middle of July, this is going to be done. As long as, people you don't contribute to it. But I feel like there's a lot of opinions being given, and some of it is hurtful to you, or the temptation to really get involved in the conflict is quite great. But the advice is quite strong to not take it too much to heart, to try to not take it personal, because at or towards or at the end of June 2016, time being fluid, we have the Three of Swords followed by the Emperor. So the Three of Swords, traditionally often seen, particularly in love and relationship, as a card of heartbreak, heartache. It's sometimes referred to as the breakup card. It's about a deep emotional pain, disappointment, needing to learning how to get over. Its presence can also represent having to let certain pains, certain pain, a certain type of pain heal. um, but I feel like in this spread, Taurus, again, it's related to what you're hearing people say, both directly and indirectly, in the form of somebody coming and telling you, "Oh, I heard so and so say this about it." People, I think people, particularly the last half of June, people are being. I feel like you've made a decision of some kind in terms of dealing with this issue from the past, this person from the past. And again, I think for a lot of you, this is some kind of internal family conflict or problem. And people are giving their opinions and passing judgment. And some of it is passing judgment on you personally. And the temptation is really there to take it personally, to take it to heart, to fuel the fire, and just taking it quite personally. And the advice is not to, because this Three of Swords is paired with the Emperor card. And I feel like it's this, rather than interpreting and intuiting these cards as separate definitions, which you really can't do in a reading. You really have to take it all in conjunction with each other and how they speak to each other. It's this combination of cards. I'm feeling like you shouldn't. The temptation and the challenge is to take all these opinions and judgments that it feels like are being passed on you to heart, because some of them could potentially be quite hurtful, but not to do that. I feel like people are being kind of critical. Some of you, it's going to be people being very critical of you. And it could also be the other way too, that the temptation to pass judgment on people or to be overly critical is very strong. And the advice is to just not involve yourself in that, not invest your energy in that. That Three of Swords is paired with the Emperor card, which is a major arcana card. Significant, profound energy. The energy of the Emperor is all about kind of being upright and just. In the positive aspects, the positive traits of the Emperor are, very structured, very disciplined, very ordered. This would be, as a person, it would be somebody who crosses all the T's, dots all the I's, very thoughtful, methodical, weighs everything out very carefully before making any decisions. But the Emperor, the energies of the Emperor can be kind of judgmental, can be kind of critical and harsh, particularly if it doesn't fit in with his line of thinking. And again, I really feel like this combination, Taurus, this Three of Swords and the Emperor card, is a strong advice that, one, the challenge is going to be to take what you hear, to take what is said quite deep to heart, that it could potentially hurt you quite badly or make you very upset. You feel it's judgmental and critical, but the advice is not to do that, because I think that will add to it and that will keep it going for longer. Because I feel if you don't invest any negative energy in this, it is going to fizzle out within the next few weeks. Definitely, I think going into by the middle of July, this is going to be over. It's going to be yesterday's newspaper lining the trash can. Um, but it's about remaining as neutral and centered and grounded as possible. If there's truth that you need to speak, speak that truth, stand by it, stand firm in that. But you can do it in a solid way, in a quiet way, a very quiet, strong way that doesn't require being aggressive or, again, like throwing gasoline on the fire, which I think one or two people are actually invested in doing in this situation, especially for those of you for whom this represents a family situation. So, and that advice is echoed and underscored by your crowning card, Taurus, which is Temperance, major arcana card, beautiful card. The Temperance card speaks of, well, of temperance, patience, moderation, balance, walking the middle line, wholeness, harmony, integration, a certain level of neutrality, of holding opposite extremes in perfect balance, perfect unison, perfect harmony, no matter what's going on in the external environment. So, um, not taking sides, not passing judgment, not trying to get caught up in judgment being passed on you and negative criticism. Some people just seem to take pleasure in hating and being overly critical and passing judgment because it is how they get their own self validation. And unfortunately, for people who tend to do that, that satisfaction is very fleeting and very temporary. So they keep having to repeat it and it becomes a way of life for them. So uh, please try not to do that and try not to add to that or contribute to that, Taurus. And I think that will make this much easier for you and for everyone involved, and that the energy will pass a lot quicker. And I'm also getting the feeling too that you won't that how you walk through this is going to model that behavior type for other people who are just kind of on the sidelines watching in a really positive sort of way. Like you could really be a positive example in how you walk through this situation with this centeredness, this patience, this temperance, this balance, and this personal sense of personal integrity, because other people will be watching too, and you could really have a you could really be a positive model through this month, Taurus. So what an interesting reading. Quite specifically oriented. Again, I think for a lot of you, I'm getting just a lot of family energy. So patience, remember temperance this month, Taurus, which as the lovely grounded earth sign that you are, this is part of your inherent character and personality types. You are wonderful at displaying this. So draw on your own natural abilities this month, Taurus, and I think you're going to move much more easily and quickly through this, and you're going to model for other people as well. So, Taurus, I hope you've enjoyed this reading. I hope it has resonated for you and brought you a little food for thought in, the path to come and some insight and clarity. Basically, draw on and be the positive aspects of who you already are. Um, so, for those of you who are interested in a personal reading, again, you can click on the About sign on my channel's homepage, and you can email me directly at Maggie, the number one McGuire at gmail.com. I would be delighted to work with you. And I will see you all in a couple of weeks for the June 2016 mid-month readings. And until then, as always, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Thanks for watching, Taurus, and I'll see you soon. Bye.